Okay, quick reaction video tonight on, there's going to be millions of these on YouTube, on the news that David Haye and Vladimir Klitschko are finally going to fight, and they've put all the politics aside, and it's signed apparently. Everybody's saying it's signed, all the news articles are saying it's signed. The fighters are saying it's signed, so it's signed. That's a lot of people have been talking about the fact that they didn't ever think this was going to be signed. You got Mayweather, Pacquiao, the other big fight out there everybody wants to see, hasn't been signed. Let's hope Pac-Man and Mayweather take some notice of this and get that one signed as well. People will say, Hayes ducked out before, talk about Vladimir cancelling Chisora, all that stuff. You got people on both sides, talking a lot of BS, as they say in the US, talking a lot of crap about fighters being scared of one another. These are elite boxers, not scared of anybody. They're just not. I mean, that's not the way these guys are built. And somebody like David Haye, he's not like not a confident person. You're not going to catch me thinking that David Haye thinks he can't whip King Kong. I mean, that's just the man's nature. So it's signed. So I think people need to just step back from that and just be grateful for the fact this fight has signed, and we've now got a genuine heavyweight fight to look forward to. So I, for one, am delighted, and let's get it on. I'll be going over to Germany to watch it. I mean, after that Audley Harrison fiasco, I would be minded not to, but I like watching Vlad fight as well. So, come what may, it'll be a good spectacle, it'll be a good thing to see. So just looking beyond all the sort of what's gone before and all the rest of it, I just want to have a quick talk about the fighters involved. Always been a David Haye fan. Always, he doesn't do himself any favours in terms of his his PR and all the rest of it, and he makes a lot of enemies with his attitude. But I've seen him live, and I've seen him connect with people, flush, turn his hands right over into the punches, and for me he's a very powerful fighter, and I like to see that. I like to see explosive fighters. There's not many explosive heavyweights around these days, I don't think. You got Denis Boytsov, I think, is the other, truly exciting younger heavyweight on the market, but he's not doing much at the moment. He's been injured for a while. Let's talk about both fighters. They've both got very different strengths, but they've both got the same weakness ultimately, which is what makes this fight so exciting. Vlad, 55 wins, 3 losses, KO losses. He is a great fighter. He would have been a great fighter in more or less, I think, any era. He would have always been top 5 in any era, in my view. He's learned how to protect himself a little bit more, bearing in mind his chin since he's been with Manny Stewart. He's more defensive than he used to be. It's turned a lot of people off him in terms of his fighting style. I still like to watch him fight though, because I think he's just, from a pugilism point of view, if you want to go back to first principles from the pure boxing purist perspective, I think he's a great fighter these days. He's a far better fighter than he was. He hides his chin a lot better. He's taking punches going backwards rather than going forwards, which is meant that he's not getting KO'd. He's got decent footwork, decent movement. He's quick for a heavyweight, but that's in an era of fairly out of shape heavyweights, without a lot of people out there with speed and power. So other people make him look good rather than him being genuinely outstanding for certainly for speed. For power, he's got tremendous power. He's got very, very good one-punch KO power. I wouldn't say it's outstanding, but it's just the accumulative volume of the amount of jabs that people have to eat to get near him. He's difficult to hit. He wears you down and takes you out, and his jab is going to be the one that's going to be the determining punch of this whole contest. Is going to be whether Vlad can connect often with his jab, with that powerful jab. So yeah, what other strengths does he have? He is, I mean, he's obviously 6'6", 6'7", 240 pounds, something like that. So he's, I mean, he's a huge man. He's a huge unit. He looks like he's been, bred somewhere, near some form of radioactive, outpost. He's just a monster. So he's got all that going for him in terms of assets. And in my view, he's so big that in any era he'd be competitive, subject to not getting knocked out. But David Haye, what are his strengths? Well, David Haye is more of a sprinter type of fighter. He's built fast twitch. I used to run a little bit. I don't anymore. More drink and smoke. But you know the guys who are genuinely fast twitch, who have 80-90% fast twitch fibers, from the guys who don't. And that's just a determining physiological factor. It's why Jamaica produces so many great sprinters, is because if you take their population, it's an extraordinary percentage have a high percentage, like 80-90% fast twitch fibers. If you looked at the UK and found and tried to find out how many people have that kind of percentage of the fast twitch fibers, be something like 2 or 3%. So that's why you shouldn't expect, statistically it's not impossible, but that's why you shouldn't expect any white 100-meter sprinters to kind of dominate, because there's not kind of the same number of those people. Haye, of course, is half black, half white, so he's got that tremendous fast twitch, and he also carries a little bit of more of that sort of endomorphic power. So I'm getting too technical here, but he's a tremendously quick fighter. I think that people, when you see Haye in the ring with Vlad, people talk about Chambers being fast. Chambers isn't fast compared to Haye. You will, subject to Haye not getting knocked out early and making a bit of a joke of this whole thing, you will see how quick Haye is. I mean, Haye holds his hands basically around his waist all the time, and he can only do that because he's so quick, and it's because his reflexes are that good, and he's on his way out all the time. He just sticks his neck out, and he pulls, and he often counter punches. He's a great counter puncher, Haye. Power wise, I would say he hits as hard as Vlad, which is pretty good, bearing in mind the fact he's 15 and a half stone or whatever. He'll be maybe a bit lighter for this fight, but he hits as hard as Vlad because he delivers with such speed. That's where he gets his power from. So with Vlad, it's a combination of speed, and it's also his weight, because he's that big, and you multiply the two, and it's kind of that equals force. Whereas Haye is just a gunslinger. He's just so quick. So I mean, I think the test here is going to be, can Haye neutralise with his reflexes and movement and general speed Vlad's jab? If he can't, he's toast, because he will, his chin will not withstand the kind of punishment that somebody like a Sam Peter can take from Vlad. I mean, Haye just cannot take that kind of punishment. He's got to be slipping effectively all night long, or for as long as it takes him to KO Vlad. So I'm not saying he is going to KO Vlad, by the way. If you're going to ask me to pick the fight in terms of a winner, I'd say 60-40 Vlad. But I'd say, if Haye hits him with full power, and completely connects, I'd say there's a good chance of him knocking him down and not being able to recover. Because if you've seen Vlad get knocked down, he is, even when he gets tagged properly. I mean, he doesn't know where he is. His feet have gone. If you look at him versus Brewster, or you look at him versus Sanders, he's gone. I mean, he's not the kind of guy that comes back from being knocked down. He's virtually he's senseless. And if he gets like that with Haye, I mean, Haye is a beast. He will just jump on him and he'll smash him. I don't see him coming back from it. So as a fight, as a spectacle, can go one of a number of ways. So I don't think you should necessarily expect this to be an exciting fight. It could be knockdowns on both sides. Although, as I've said, if it's knockdown for Haye, I think Haye will finish him. I think Haye, if he gets knocked down close to a bell, 30 seconds from a bell, might be able to evade. He might be able to come back. I think the sensible money is probably on a KO for either of the fighters, but equally, don't rule this out. Haye may get on his bike all night long, not fancy taking that jab in the face at all, and fight very much like Valiev. So he did against Valiev, so you can't expect necessarily this to be a great spectacle, even though everybody wants to see the fight, and it's all hyped up and all the rest of it. Haye may just get on his bike and just pull out all night, round the ring, just pot shot, and try and get the decision. If he does that, I don't think it'll be a great great fight. But, okay, that's my prediction. That's my breakdown. And enjoy the fight.